I did not say that. I did
and
not.
You didn't say, I'm sick of your shit, I'm tired of having to wait, I should not have to wait, you guys are always effing late, this is effing ridiculous.
No. I mean, no. I've never called a cop an idiot. That is a remarkably false
But you're saying these police officers are lying then, who spoke to the investigators?
I am absolutely saying that report was falsified. 100% fictitious, falsified.
That was Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace here on The Source last night, directly refuting that police report that just came out and says she berated and cursed at Charleston Airport security and police back in October. Throughout the interview, Mace, who is running for governor of South Carolina, I should note, repeatedly insisted that what officials accused her of in that 10-page report wasn't true.
The report was actually falsified. You're quoting a document that was in part falsified. That is a falsified document. There are things in there, most of what's in there that's quoted is not true. I am absolutely saying that report was falsified, 100% fictitious, falsified. You're just going to take the words from a falsified police report and say, oh, this happened.
Now, as for who exactly Mace believes is behind this, she says it's one of her Republican primary opponents in South Carolina's governor's race.
It was an incredible hit job. It was effective. It was a very effective political hit job, but that's all that it was. And
who do you think was doing the hit job?
Oh, it was the Attorney General Alan Wilson. I mean, literally.
You think he conspired with the police
100%.
and TSA at the airport?
6 minutes after they released the falsified reports, he had a news release and a press thing on social media. It was all boom, boom, boom.
And here to respond tonight to that allegation is my source this evening, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. And thank you so much for being here. Obviously, we wanted to have you on, given she invoked you by name last night. What was your reaction to what the Congresswoman said there?
Well, first off, it's a categorical lie, what she said, as related to my involvement in this. It's also delusional and crazy for her to make these kind of crazy accusations. It's not my fault that Miss May showed up late the day that she showed up at the airport. It's not my fault that she showed up at the wrong location. I did not make her cuss out the men and women at the TSA and the security checkpoint. I did not make her tweet about this 100 times in the days that followed. I did not make her have a press conference, which, by the way, at that press conference, she actually said that she hoped that she had cussed them out and used the F word when she was asked by reporters the day after that all came out. So for me to have been able to have that kind of control over her was what you would have to believe in order for this to have actually been true.
So you had nothing to do with
No.
the day that it came out, knowing about it. I think she said 6 minutes after or something like that.
I mean, look, I don't know the timeline, but people were whispering about this and talking about her mental meltdown at the airport for the days leading up to the FOIA release from the airport. But people have to remember, this happened during the government shutdown. Nancy was cussing out men and women who were working for free at the time. These were people who were taxpayer-funded security and TSA folks, right, as well as local officials. She cussed them out while she was not going to Congress. She was actually flying to Las Vegas and then another pleasure trip to Texas for a fundraiser. She wasn't even on the government clock, expecting them to provide her this free protection while they were working for free, and then to call them effing idiots, effing incompetent, which she literally said that she hoped that she had called them that.
Yeah, and she said last night she has never called anyone an idiot, was what she maintained. When she says that this report fully exonerates her, is that how you see it?
I mean, look, there are half a dozen people who gave reports, statements that she used. They're all saying the same thing. Is everyone lying and she telling the truth? And it's not just this one incident. Apparently, there's a handful of incidents over the last year where she is cussing out TSA, cussing out security. This is something that goes back not just this past month, but for the last year. At the end of the day, she's saying things that are delusional, and this basically reminds me of a spoiled brat, an entitled spoiled brat.
And obviously the two of you are opponents here in this race. I think that's important to keep in mind, and why she was saying it was a political hit job. One thing she talked about was saying that the video that was released, which we showed, the surveillance video, she's walking through, she's speaking with the TSA agent, and then police officers are escorting her, that it doesn't have audio on it. Do you feel like that audio should be released? How do you see that?
I'm not aware that those cameras have audio. I think they have TSA security mandates by the federal law that requires people to be able to see what's going on, but they don't want people to think that they're listening on their conversations as they're traveling through the airport. So I don't know that there would be audio video available, but what you do is you have multiple witness statements corroborating the same thing.
And obviously in your race, one thing that could be pretty vital for either of you is an endorsement by President Trump. I don't think either of you have gotten one from him yet. I don't think he's weighed in on this primary, if I'm aware. Tell me if I'm wrong. When you look at that and you look at how all this is played out, how important do you think that endorsement would be for you?
Look, an endorsement from President Trump would be incredible for any candidate in this country, and at least in the Republican primary running. Absolutely, I would want it. But I'll tell you what I'm really proud of to have gotten. A majority of the Republican sheriffs, 75% of Republican sheriffs in South Carolina have endorsed me, including all 5 Republican sheriffs in her congressional district. Every single elected sheriff in Nancy Mace's congressional district has endorsed me.
So and why do you think that is?
Well, because they see how she treats law enforcement. I mean, she says things on social media all the time, but this woman doesn't care about cops. She doesn't see them as public servants. She sees them as her servants. And that's how she treats people. She's an entitled brat.
Well, it kind of created a bit of a rift in South Carolina politics because she apparently had invoked Senator Tim Scott at the airport. That's according to the report. And he put out his own statement when that happened, saying, you know, it's not appropriate to use vulgar language or to treat police officers or TSA agents like that. I mean, what kind of dynamic is playing out in South Carolina Republican politics right now?
Well, Tim Scott is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. He's a very genteel person. He's a very nice person. And I mean, for her to be complaining about him getting special treatment over her, I'll tell you right now, I walked through Charleston International Airport. The men and women there, the law enforcement folks, the TSA folks, they are professional, they are polite, they are nice. I know that Lindsey Graham has gone through there, Tim Scott has gone through there, other members of our congressional delegation. No one has ever complained about any members of Congress until this incident with Miss Mace.
South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson, thank you for joining us to respond tonight.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. And up next,